The 2001 Daytona 500 was absolutely the most infamous day in modern motorsports. Here is Michael Waltrip's 2001 NAPA Auto Parts Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Howdy folks, it is Diecastbuffet here again, and check this out right here. We have ourselves a very classic NASCAR diecast review in this thing. Oh my god, man. What a beautiful paint scheme, and man, do I have a lot to talk about with this car. So, this is a 2001 Michael Waltrip NAPA Auto Parts Monte Carlo. Now, this was part of Michael Waltrip's. It was the gift from God himself to be able to drive for DI and with his great buddy Dale Sr. And this car, oh my god, man, this is a beautiful paint scheme. I mean, the hood on this is the hood on this, and that's what I love so much about this. And also, before I do open it, I just want to say something real quick. This diecast is a damaged box. It probably fell off someone's shelf. The car's fine, the hood's fine, it's just the plastic itself, it's been vacuum sealed. You got residue from a price tag sticker here, you got a faded winner circle, so I have no problem opening this diecast. Beautiful piece. Let's go ahead and get it right out of the box. Here she is, folks, brand new out of the package, and oh my god, is this a beautiful diecast. This is a 2001 NAPA Auto Parts Monte Carlo, and whenever I see this paint scheme, this body style, man, I can look at a street car from the same year, and it has the same ducktail, it has the same back spoiler, it has the same curved nose. They did a great job in 2001 and 2002 replicating the street car with the Gen 4 body. They did a great job with that, but this is a beautiful piece, man. This car, in my opinion, is one of the most famous race cars ever to be on the track. And there is a look for the newer fans out there, the guys who may have never seen this race live. I never seen when Michael Waltrip won the Daytona 500 in 2001 live. I did. I'll be honest. You know, it was, in my opinion, the most infamous moment in motorsports history. And I will go and talk about that as we review this diecast. Let's paint the picture here, guys. So, in 2000, Michael Waltrip, his career is pretty much croaked, right? He gets the call from Dale Sr. to go drive his 15 car. Michael Waltrip and Dale Sr. were, I mean, huge friends. I mean, they were like best buds, right? Go fishing together, they'd hang out. I mean, they were best buds, right? Dale Sr. always told Michael Waltrip that if you drove one of my cars, you would win in it. Michael Waltrip was racing since the 80s, right? In the Cup Series. He ran 462 Cup starts before getting his first ever win. Can you imagine that? When you run about 36 races a year, and you have to go 462 of those. 462 driver intros, 462, practices, race weekends. I mean, just so much stress. And to know everyone else is winning races. They're winning the 500, they're winning the Brickyard, they're winning everything. And the only thing you have to show for is an all-star win in the mid-90s. That's it. Michael Waltrip Cup career was one of the worst until 2001, and it was a very, very, very sad day for the world of motorsports, and it was so unfair to Mikey what happens. As you go over here on the nose, you got the red bow tie, beautiful number 15 Monte Carlo. God, I love the nose of this car, beautiful. I'll go ahead and pan over here to the side of the car. Now this is like I said, this is the first year for Michael Waltrip at DI. He's never won a cup race, right? 462 starts, never won a cup race. He goes to Daytona. And let me tell you, this cat, he had Dale Sr. and Dale Jr. behind him with 5 to go in the 500. Before that race weekend, Dale Sr. pulled Michael Waltrip to his side and said, look, this is how we're going to win the 500. This is how we're going to do it. And he explained to him how we're going to work together, do whatever we have to do to stay up front. If we have to push another, if we have to block, whatever it took, right? Just keep their cars out front. Of course, Dale Sr. raced for RCR, but he also had his own team, which is DEI, Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. And Michael Waltrip drove for that DEI team, and my God, man, they were the best restrictor plate team, I would say, ever. The amount of races they won in such a short time span is unfathomable. I mean, and especially with the level of competition with the restrictor plates, I mean, they were the best restrictor plate team ever to be created, and it probably will ever be in NASCAR. I mean, they won, God, so many restrictor plate events. It's insane. So you go over here to the side of the car, you got the beautiful 15 NAPA Auto Parts. I'm not really sure what that is. Sealy Furniture, NASCAR Race Car, NASCAR Cup Series. I think it's, yeah, the little black flag there. That's the Bud Pole Award, but it just doesn't have the Bud logo. Vintage Gatorade logo, Auto Meter, Mechanics Wear. I'm not really sure what that blue one is. Jessel, True Value, Holly, 3M, EA Sports, Union 76, Goodies, Comp. Not sure what that blue one there is, and I'm not sure what this one is here. Goodyear, Cavite, Simpson, Edelbrock. Not really sure what that bottom one is here too. Union 76. This is when they used that fuel before Sunoco. Beautiful, beautiful paint scheme. The best mold you could get this car on, in my opinion, is the early 2000s Monte Carlo. Just such a freaking beautiful paint scheme. Michael Waltrip, DI logo there. You got Coca-Cola, the NAPA Auto Parts. In this race, Michael Waltrip, as I mentioned, went 462 cup starts without winning a race. And he's coming off turn 4 to win his first race, which is the biggest, one of the biggest races in the world, the Daytona 500, right? That was his first ever career win. And he drove the same paint scheme too. And when he won that race, all he could see behind him in the rear view was cars wrecking. And little did he know that his best friend, Dale Earnhardt Sr., was in the wall and he lost his life. It was, I mean, after all the celebration photos, after everything was took, you know, all the interview and stuff, and they tell him, look, we've lost Dale Sr., you know, and it was, oh my God, man. I mean, could you imagine that after nearly 2 decades of straight up losing, to win your first Cup Series race, and you just, and your best friend pretty much dies in it? Like, could you imagine that? That is so it's so heartbreaking, right? And that happened to Michael Waltrip in 2001. And I don't think enough people realize how significant that race was for motorsports. You can see NAPA Auto Parts, NAPAonline.com, 15, beautiful wavy Monte Carlo back spoiler, love it. When Michael Waltrip won that race, he proved that Dale Sr., who believed in him, I'm talking as far as back as early and mid-90s, he proved Dale Sr. right, that he knew that if he drove one of Dale's cars, he would win, and he did so. And Michael Waltrip would even go back to win the next year. He won the Pepsi 400, and he won in 2003, he won the Daytona 500 again, and he won Talladega. Michael Waltrip's career at DI, he was already up in age, right? He was already at the tail end of his career. That's something I don't think enough people realize, that just because his stats are not even close to some drivers, he has 2 Harley J. Earl trophies with Michael Waltrip written on them. Let me tell you, I would trade 50 Cup wins to have one of those Daytona 500 wins. I'll tell you that right now, because that is the most, look, 100 years from now, people ain't going to remember Atlanta Motor Speedway. They're not going to remember Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're going to remember Daytona, and they're going to remember Indianapolis. That's what I'm saying. And Michael Waltrip will forever be enshrined in NASCAR immortality and motorsports immortality with 2 Daytona 500 wins. I mean, that's something they can never take from him. To win the 500 twice is just... And this race, man, it changed motorsports so much, because in 2001, when Dale Sr. hit the wall, he was blocking, I might add, to protect Michael Waltrip and Dale Jr., because Jr. was second, Earnhardt Sr. was in third, and Michael was leading. Sr. was trying to block to keep Sterling Marlin and Kenny Schrader and company behind him, because he wanted his team to have a 1-2-3 finish and his team to win the greatest race in NASCAR. And by God, they did so. And man, it was tragic, because after they won it, I mean, the entire sport shut down. I mean, it was headline news everywhere that Dale Sr. died, right? And it's crazy, because in 2001, I was 2 years old. I was actually 2 years old when he died, because I was born in the month of May. But man, when you consider that, it is such a tragic event to win the biggest race, in my opinion, that you can win, besides the Indy 500, because that's, much older tradition. But I would trade 100 Cup wins. I would trade 10 NASCAR championships to win the 500. I'm sorry. That is just, I would. I'm sorry. The Daytona 500, in my opinion, is the best, most prestigious prize in NASCAR racing. The championship nowadays don't mean nothing. I'm sorry. They hand them out to anybody. You can miss half the season, you can win it. You can just literally start and park the entire season, win a plate race, maybe be top 30 in points. Boom. There you go. You're in the playoffs. You win a few races. Boom. You luck out with weather. Boom. You're in the final four. The other guys wreck out. Guess what? You're a champion. As far as I'm concerned, the championships nowadays don't mean anything. But the Daytona 500 is forever. Michael Waltrip, man, he did something that a lot of people never thought he could. To go 462 consecutive losses and to win the Daytona 500, I mean, it is just unbelievable. And it's spiritual. It really is how amazing that story is. And I gotta say, if you want to learn more about Michael Waltrip's amazing career and the amazing story of the 2001 Daytona 500 and how important it was for NASCAR and how important it was for IndyCar, I mean, every single aspect of motorsports we have nowadays, F1, everything was shocked and altered because of the 2001 500. From safety to just the eyes of the fans. Pre-Dale Earnhardt, people, they knew that the drivers were, if they die, look, they did what they did, doing what they love. Post-Dale Earnhardt, when a driver dies, now it's like, oh my God. It's a gigantic deal, because in the 60s and 70s, I mean, you might have 3 or 4 cats lose their life on a freaking open wheel race in Europe, It was a common thing. But in 2001, with all this technology and everything, to see someone actually lose their life on national television in a stock car at Daytona, it captivated the world. And NASCAR was at its absolute peak in that era. So more people watched that and was just polarized by the tragedy of Dale Sr. And it was absolutely the most important, it was the most infamous day in motorsports. And as I said, if you want to learn more about this whole amazing story, check out In the Blink of an Eye. It's actually, Michael Waltrip helped make this. This is a film. It's a documentary. It's about an hour and a half long. Let me tell you, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It is, let me tell you, man, it is must-watch TV. I could not believe it. Race Day 2011 hit it on the head, man. It is an amazing piece of film. You got to check it out. But guys, that's going to be all for this review. Amazing hood, amazing diecast, a little bit of storytelling, and wow, what an awesome piece. Thank y'all so much for watching the video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss any of my new videos. With all that being said, hope you're having a great one, and Diecastbuffet, signing off.